Unfortunately, what happened that day with the collapse was a blunt reminder of just how urgent and important this is.
The U.S. Secretary of Transportation Pete Buttigieg says the Fern Hollow Bridge collapse demonstrates the need for work in American infrastructure. He says President Biden's personal visit to the site was an attention getter. In an interview seen only on KDKA, Buttigieg told political editor John Delano that it's adding urgency to a vital mission.
President Biden's firsthand look at the Fern Hollow Bridge site just hours after the collapse had an impact on both the president and Pete Buttigieg, the man charged with implementing many parts of the bipartisan infrastructure bill.
Clearly, the visit made an impression on him, and I think all of us, I know he feels this way. We're, in particular, on one hand, shocked that this could have happened, and on the other hand, relieved at the almost miraculous fact that there were no fatalities that day. Nobody should have to just hope or wish that a bridge collapse will not be fatal, because of course a bridge collapse should never happen in the first place.
Preventing future bridge collapses, says Buttigieg, is a key goal of the president's infrastructure bill. Pennsylvania is slated to get $1.6 billion to repair over 3,000 bridges rated poor. But here's the question. There's so much red tape that seems to be involved. How can you expedite the delivery of money to cities like Pittsburgh with so many poor quality bridges?
Well, as a former mayor now serving in a federal role, I'm prioritizing the process of making the federal government a little more user-friendly for cities, mayors, communities to navigate.
Buttigieg says this bill has a special carve-out for locally owned bridges like the Fern Hollow Bridge and many others, so that state-owned bridges don't get all the money. Another key element: local governments can get 100% federal funding for bridge repair, instead of having to come up with 20% of the cost with local tax dollars.
Being able to cover 100% of these local bridge repairs in the cases where the bridge qualifies for that is one way we think we can make it simpler, easier, and we hope faster for local communities to get those bridges fixed.
The 100% funding is good news for local communities with poor bridges in need of repair, but it's not clear how quickly they will actually get those dollars. Buttigieg also tells me he's planning another trip to Pittsburgh, but no date yet. John Delano, KDKA News.
Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg says Pittsburgh can play a key role as America switches from gas-powered cars to cleaner electric vehicles in the years to come. In an exclusive interview with KDKA's John Delano, the secretary outlined a $5 billion conversion program.
In my interview with Secretary Buttigieg, I noted three things that might encourage people to buy electric vehicles: more charging stations so you can travel anywhere, a much shorter time to charge or fill up with electricity, and guaranteeing it's cheaper to drive an electric vehicle over a gas one.
This is exactly why we're investing in creating a national network of electric vehicle chargers, 500,000 of them by the end of this decade, and a lot of those being installed as early as this year. We're starting with the highway system, making sure that we have a backbone so that no matter how far your trip is, you know that there are going to be charging stations on the way to where you need to be.
So watch for chargers along all the local interstates, says Buttigieg, including so-called fast chargers.
These DC fast chargers out at a gas station or a retail location or out on the highway somewhere that can charge a vehicle in a matter of minutes. We're going to make it easier than ever to know that you can get your vehicle charged. On the cost side, these vehicles are already cheaper to own. You're going to save hundreds of dollars a year filling up with electric compared to gas or diesel.
And the Transportation Secretary sees Pittsburgh as playing a key role in the nation's changeover to electric vehicles.
Everything from the kinds of research jobs connected to a place like Carnegie Mellon, which is at the forefront of a lot of transportation innovation, to union electrical worker jobs installing these electric charging stations, to the jobs even in manufacturing them in the first place. A place with a proud industrial tradition, as well as amazing educational and medical institutions. There is no question in my mind that Pittsburgh is positioned to be at the forefront of the electric vehicle revolution.
This is a 5-year program, and this year Pennsylvania is getting $25 million to get started installing EV chargers along all our major highways. John Delano, KDKA News.